I remember Texas, Jimmy Johnson and Matt Kenseth had a side-by-side duel, and we thought that Kenseth was going to be able to hold him off. Jimmy didn't give up.
And for the people that say all these guys do is points race, I want you to watch what's going on right here, because the difference right there is 15 points between finishing first and second. You can see how loose that 48 car is getting.
Stay smooth, you'll leave them.
I think the way Jimmy Johnson looks at it, if I'm going to win 10 races again this year, I don't want to let any of them get away. Carl's just so dominant. And you know what? It just backs up everything we heard going into this race today. We heard from testing to practice.
Great job. Just stay smooth. You'll drive away from him. 41.85 is 42.39.
Everybody in the garage was saying Carl Edwards is the man to beat. Pretty well nailed that.
Jimmy Johnson now seeing Jeff Gordon closing in just a bit. We have a record for lead changes today. We've also had 11 cautions in this event, which ties the record.
Jamie McMurray.
I think he just bounced off the.
Keep it up. Get gathered up. Good save.
Oh, he saved it.
12 laps to go.
Of course, that's Carl Edwards' teammate. Carl Edwards does not need his teammate to bring a caution out.
He didn't have two good tires, and he just ruined those.
Battling Casey Kane for the 9th position. How many times have we seen that today? He just got up there in that stuff and just got loose.
Come on, Wing. Save me, Wing. That's what you call winging it.
Straighten him right up. McMurray slides back to 13th, but continues with 11 laps now to go. Heavy traffic.
Play with that throttle.
Kurt Busch on the inside. You're watching back from Jeff Burton's car. There's Kurt.
It's the other thing I've noticed about this car, Larry. These guys, they juke that throttle a lot more than they did in the old car. The old car was either on or off. This baby, you got to play with that throttle.
Well, Jimmy Johnson gave it a battle, but Carl Edwards now leads by 1 second over Johnson and is driving away.
Pretty nice recovery from Daytona for the 24-48, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Kind of the way it went last year. You know, they both came out there in the hole. Didn't seem to affect them much.
Johnson would leave here 8th in points. Gordon 14th.
And the point leader would be?
Right now it would be Kyle Busch in the 18 car. Carl Edwards didn't have a stellar Daytona 500. Finished mid-pack in 19th.
No, and he would leave here 5th in the standings. The way things run right now with 10 laps to go.
Well, based on the way the Toyotas have been running in the Nationwide Series, Kyle Busch is going to do what I think we all said he might be able to do, and that's lead here with the point lead in all 3 series. That's going to be impressive. It's only the 2nd race of the year, but nonetheless, that's a big accomplishment.
Yes, it is.
Remember, Carl Edwards finished 2nd to Jimmy Johnson here last September as he goes for the win with 9 to go.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it, Mike. 7 starts here, 6 top 6 finishes.
You know, there's always been racetracks that seem to suit one make over another. Atlanta was a Ford racetrack. Charlotte was a Ford racetrack for a while. And this racetrack obviously has fallen into that category. Jack Roush, Fenway Group, they've obviously got this joint figured out.
Let's get a word from Krista on the race leader.
Well, Mike, if the folks that hung with us through yesterday's broadcast, you heard Carl say that he lost his motor coach this week. His motor coach was involved in an accident. He instead had to borrow the coach that was supposed to be used by the pre-race band ZZ Top. One of ZZ Top's hit songs, Sharp Dressed Man. Carl didn't even know if he'd have any clothes here. His fire suit, all of his clothes were on his coach. Today, it just doesn't matter what he's wearing. He is in top fashion.
Hey, Krista, today he is dressed for success, I can tell you.
Yes, he is. We've got 7 laps to go, and right now he has almost a 2-second lead over Jimmy Johnson in that 48 car. Right now, I believe the 48 car, he mentioned it a while ago, he has burnt the right rear tire off that car, and Jeff Gordon in the 24 is reeling him in. When they get back to the line, there'll be 6 laps to go.
I think they'll probably be happy to finish right where they are. Get out of here, recover from Daytona. Again, we mentioned yesterday the other Jimmy Johnson that worked for Rick Hendrick. again, I want to just pass along my condolences to his family. Jimmy was part of building Hendrick Motorsports into the dynasty it is today.
Tony Stewart has passed Kevin Harvick for 7th place, and we'll also mention the passing of longtime broadcast executive Tim Sullivan in Daytona Beach after a lengthy illness. That happened over this weekend. Tim headed up the teleprompter theater vision telecast of the Daytona 500, where you go watch it on closed circuit TV at the local movie house, and later was general manager of NASCAR's Motor Racing Network radio network.
And we have a memorial service tomorrow for my nephew Jason. Tell Connie and Dave hello, thinking about you, and be with you tomorrow.
Five to go at the Auto Club Speedway of Southern California, where Carl Edwards, one of his teammates, David Reagan, is sponsored by AAA. No roadside assistance needed today for that 99 team.
And Darrell, when I watch this 99 car, the car is turning and rotating through the middle so well. You can just see the nose pin. You can almost see the car yawed out a little bit.
Yeah.
The big fear of this race car was going to be it just wouldn't turn. The front end was not in the racetrack. You've already heard Jimmy Johnson talk about, I burnt the right rear up. Matt Kenseth was loose. It's like they've got these things turning pretty good right now.
Yeah, they do. And Larry, some of the teams that have got them working have been working on the front ends. The teams that don't have them working, they've been crutching these things up with big old right rear springs, and you can't race that way. You're going to burn the right rear off. You're going to have a loose race car. If your car's not working in the front, you don't go work on the rear.
There's your leader, Carl Edwards. A wave to Dale Jr. Behind, and Kyle Petty, who moved over.
He's had that hand out the window every time he goes by somebody. Thanks, brother.
And yeoman's work by Jr. in the 88 and Denny Hamlin in the 11. Despite being crashed last night in the early laps of this race, they have toughed it out and gone the distance. Jr. 47 laps down, and Denny Hamlin 56 laps behind. They're going to finish 40th and 41st, but they're going to finish.
And give a call to Jimmy Elledge, the 41 car Reed Sorensen. Not the amount of damage that Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Denny Hamlin had in that crash, but they went to the garage area. They're 10 laps down. Remember, finished in the top 5 in the Daytona 500. He's going to leave here, it looks like, probably finishing about 37th, Reed Sorensen.
We've seen time and time again, and the reason it's so critical is 5-10 points can just make a huge difference in where you stay in the top 35, and that's a consideration.
And a big drop for Jr. in the points, as you saw there, down to 25th.
2 to go.
2 to go. All lap down cars right there, buddy. All multiple laps.
There's the hardware right there.
A Woody, a Southern California
man.
Surf Woody. You got to love that.
I tell you, and that's perfect for Carl. I can see Carl driving that baby.
You know, I was down at Ford Premier Group headquarters earlier in this week, and that's also the Ford West Coast Styling Studio. And for inspiration, what's in the lobby? 65 Mustang and 2 Ford Surf Woodies like the one on that trophy.
I believe I'd take this little hot rod right here and run it right in there alongside of him, because this has been a real performance today by Carl and Roush and the whole crowd. It's a good job, boys. Coming to the white flag, 1 to go.
Past Joe Nemechek, who'll finish 34th today.
Nice and smooth, bud. Last lap here.
Just tiptoe, baby, just tiptoe.
Yeah, with Clear and Nemechek, he's pretty much got smooth sailing, getting close to a half a lap to go.
Don't let go of that. Don't wave at anybody. Just bring her home.
Looking for his 7th top 6 finish in 8 starts here in Southern California.
Got a
Spin. Car in the wall. Jarrett.
The caution is out, so the field is frozen. The race is over right there because we're on the white flag lap.
Dale Jarrett's car rolls down from the banking.
Once you enter into the white flag lap and there's a caution, the race is over.
Won. Yellow came out after the white flag. No
Checkered flag. Carl Edwards wins the Auto Club 500, his first victory at California Speedway, and the 11th victory here for Roush Racing. 6 in Sprint Cup, 6 in the Nationwide Series, and 2 in the Craftsman Truck Series.
Good job, Carl.
Saw the cat in the hat, Jack Roush there. Kind of had a rough Daytona 500 with 2 of his good cars kind of getting taken out. Looked like a happy man.
Yeah, and you got Kenseth 5th. So it's a pretty good day for the boys.
Well, if you had any doubts at the start of the day whether Roush Fenway Racing has caught up with their Car of Today program, those doubts are erased.
Yeah.
And I think if you had any doubt that we're going to have good racing with this car, those doubts are erased.
I think we saw more side-by-side racing here today, Darrell, than in the last 2 races here combined.
Well, we just been so critical of this car when they ran it last year. But I tell you, the start of this season, the Daytona 500, and now again today, this car is proving itself. I'm very happy with it. It's going to be a great year.
And Mike, you mentioned this. It took us 54 and a half hours to get there, but we got us a winner here, and we got race number 2 in the books.
Dale Jarrett brought out the race's final caution. He was able to drive it back to the garage.
Let's see what happened to DJ here. Drives her off in the corner, gets up a little bit too high. Gets in that real dirty loose stuff. Round she goes.
We have seen that many times today. Now the results right now are unofficial because they're trying to make sure who was in front of who at the point of caution as far as people that finished behind Jeff Gordon.
And let's see, we haven't seen this for a while.
250 laps.
Let's see how the old boy
250
does.
left, 500 left turns, 1 backflip.
Yeah, it's a year older. Let's be sure we can still get this done.
Yeah. Oh, and he's going to run about another 300 miles here in about an hour.
Yeah. That'll make that 300 miles even that much more fun.
He doesn't have to go around to get to victory lane. He just has to drive across the grass.
And somebody said, did Jack ever tell you shouldn't do that? He said, no, he just told me to pull over and do it in the grass. Don't do it out on the track.
I don't know if we've ever had one of those, an in-car camera backflip.
We'll be back and go to victory lane after this.